Okay, so now you've got number 4 for practice. Okay, remember to double check your signs a little bit careful. So I'm going to pause the video and do the work. You go ahead and pause it, try number 4 and unpause to check your work. Okay, here is the worked out solution for number 4. Notice I tried highlighting our like terms to make it a little bit more obvious. Just one point for the distribution of the negative, if it helps, you can think of it kind of like distributing from the previous page with an area model. We've got a negative z squared plus 5z minus 1, and those are all getting multiplied by a negative sign, which you can think of as kind of like a negative 1. And you can really easily see how the two negatives make a positive z squared. 1 times z squared is just z squared, so you don't really need to put the 1. Negative 5z and a positive 1. So you can think about it that way if that helps you see the negative sign being distributed to each term. Our last problem is just a little bit of an application, kind of like a word scenario, looking for the mistakes. So Angela, Christine, and Mark each did the same problem below. Who did the problem correctly, if anyone, and say if there's any mistakes for each of them. So I'm going to look through the first person's work. I'm going to look through Angela's, and I'm going to try and walk through what mistakes she made, if any. And then what I want you guys to do is try Christy and Mark. Oh, that's kind of funny. It should be Christine. I stole this problem from somewhere else. Looks like maybe she goes by the nickname of Christy. So I'm going to walk through Angela now. So Angela starts with the problem. Here's the original problem. Now, one place that I'm thinking people might make mistakes is forgetting about that negative sign being distributed, right? You've got to do the negative to each of them. So it looks like she did apply the negative sign to the 3x, but she forgot to make this a positive 4x squared. Okay, so the mistake there is that should have been a positive 4x squared. And I'm going to put that as mistake 1. Didn't distribute negative. And the mistake was it should have been a positive 4x squared. I'm thinking the second mistake that would be most likely to be made is not combining like terms correctly. So I'm going to look and see. We have a negative 5x cubed. Negative 5x cubed, that looks fine. We have 5x squareds, negative 4x squareds, and 2. So let's see, 5 and 2 make 7, and 7 take away 4 does give 3, so that seems fine. Negative 3x, that's negative 6x. Let's get one more color, maybe blue. And 9 and 7 make 16. So that seems to be Angela's mistake, is just being not as careful with her negative signs. Okay, however, like terms she did add correctly, but that is a second area that is most common for mistakes. So I'm going to pause the video and work through Christy and Mark's. I want you to pause and try those two on your own and unpause when you're ready to check your work. So I've just worked out Christy's work on the left side. Now what I did was I highlighted the like terms and I highlighted what they started as and what they became. And I just wanted to kind of verbalize the mistake because I think it's a little easier. So the mistake is she made, I'm going to say maybe the best way to say it is made exponent / like term errors. So what Christy said, I'm going to do the blue example, for instance. So she said 5x squared plus 4x squared plus 2x squared. Now it is true that 5 and 4 make 9, and 9 and 2 make 11. So the number in front should be 11, but it should just be 11x squared. It looks like what she did was she combined like x squareds and said that would be like x to the 4th. But remember, if I did 5x plus 4x plus 2x, you would just say that's 11x. So you wouldn't change it to x squared or something like that. Same thing happened if you look at the pink work. So the pink work, she said negative 3x minus 3x equals negative 6x squared. And that's not true. The issue there is that it should just be negative 6x. Okay, so that's the mistake that Christy made. I'm going to work through Mark's, and I'm going to unpause it once I'm ready. So I've just done the last one, Mark's work, and I was double checking the distribution of the negative. That looked good. And I highlighted all the like terms. That looks correct. So that work looks like it's correct. Okay, and that is it for today. So today was just practicing distribution as well as a little bit of like term work just to make sure you guys are feeling good with combining like terms together. And tomorrow is going to be the first day of moving on to factoring. Okay, so we just want to make sure we're feeling good on distribution before we move on. I'll see you guys tomorrow.